Okay, peace. Yeah.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Road Trip Kingdom Builders, Road Trippers, Akeem and Akatim, brothers and sisters, mothers, fathers, aunties and uncles, grandmas and grandpas. Everyone in the house, man. Everyone in the house. Shalom, shalom, peace and blessings to you, your homes, your dwelling places, your loved ones, your friends, and your pets. All that good stuff, right? Them little fur babies, fur nuggets. That's right, man. We love them all. That's right. Hallelujah. All praises to the Most High. That's right. All praises to the Most High. That's right. All praises to the Most High. All praises to Yahweh. Glory to Yahweh Shai. Honors to the Ruach HaKodesh. My love and my respect goes out to each and every single one of you, Kingdom Builders. That's right, Road Tripper. That's right. All right, no further ado, we're back here in the book of Jasher, right? The book of Jasher. All right. It's going to be chapter 7. We're going to start at chapter 7. We don't know where we're going to end yet, though, all right? We're just going to read till the Ruach says, that's enough. That's enough, son. You're done, son. all right. If you want to follow along with me right now is a great chance to go ahead, pull your scrolls out with you and put them on your lap, or if you got an online app that you like to use, you can follow along on the blue screen. All right, so no further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Jasher, the book of Jasher, chapter 7. Let's begin. All right, let's go.
Take them back.
All right, fam, let's go. Chapter 7, and it reads, And these are the names of the sons of Noah, Japheth, Ham, and Shem. And children were born to them after the flood, for they had taken wives before the flood. These are the sons of Japheth, Gomer, Magog, Madai, Javan, Tubal, Meshech, and Tyrus, 7 sons. And the sons of Gomer were Ashkenaz, Rephas, and Tegarma. And the sons of Magog were Elichaneph and Lubal. And the children of Madai were Akan and Zelo and Chazonai and Lot. And the sons of Javan were Elisha, Tarshish, Chittim, and Dudonim. And the sons of Tubal were Ariphi, Kesed, and Tari. And the sons of Meshech were Dadan, Zaran, and Shebeshnai. And the sons of Teras were Benib, Gera, Lupirion, and Gilak. These are the sons of Japheth according to their families, and the numbers in those days were about 460 men. And these are the sons of Ham, Cush, Mizraim, Put, right? And Canaan, 4 sons. And the sons of Cush were Seba, Havilah, Sabta, Rama, and Setecha. And the sons of Rama were Sheba and Dedan. And the sons of Mizraim were Lud, Anam, and Pathros, Chasloth, and Chaphtor. And the sons of Phut were Gebal, Hadan, Benah, and Adan. And the sons of Canaan were Zidon, Heth, Amorai, Girgashai, Hivi, Arki, Senai, Arodai, Zemodai, and Chamothai. These are the sons of Ham according to their families, and their numbers in those days were about 730 men. And these are the sons of Shem, Elam, Ashur, Arpachshad, Lud, and Aram, 5 sons. And the sons of Elam were Shushan, and Makul, and Harman. And the sons of Asher were Myras, and Mokil. And the sons of Arpachshad were Shelach, Anar, and Ashkol. And the sons of Lud were Pethor and Bizayon. And the sons of Aram were Uz, and Chul, Gathar, and Mash. These are the sons of Shem according to their families, and their numbers in those days were about 300 men. These are the generations of Shem. Shem begat Arpachshad, and Arpachshad begat Shelach, and Shelach begat Eber, and to Eber were born 2 children. The name of one was Peleg, for in his day the sons of men were divided, and in the latter days the earth was divided. And the name of the second was Yoktan, meaning in his day the lives of the sons of men were diminished and lessened. These are the sons of Yoktan: Almodad, Shelaph, Chazamoves, Yarak, Haduram, Ozel, Dikla, Obal, Abimiel, Sheba, Ophir, Havilah, and Jobab. All these are the sons of Yoktan. And Peleg his brother begat Yen, and Yen begat Sarug, and Sarug begat Nahor, and Nahor begat Terah, and Terah was 38 years old, and he begat Haran, and Nahor. And Cush, the son of Ham, the son of Noah, took a wife in those days in his old age, and she bore a son, and they called his name Nimrod, saying, At that time the sons of men again began to rebel and transgress against Yahweh, and the child grew up, and his father loved him exceedingly, for he was the son of his old age. And the garments of skin which Yahweh made for Adam and his wife when they went out of the garden were given to Cush. For after the death of Adam and his wife, the garments were given to Enoch, the son of Jared. And when Enoch was taken up to Yahweh, he gave them to Methuselah his son. And at the death of Methuselah, Noah took them and brought them unto the ark, and they were with him until he went out of the ark. And in their going out, Ham stole those garments from Noah his father, and he took them and hid them from his brothers. And when Ham begat his firstborn Cush, he gave him the garments in secret, and they were with Cush many days. And Cush also concealed them from his sons and brothers. And when Cush had begotten Nimrod, he gave him those garments through his love for him. And Nimrod grew up, and when he was 20 years old, he put on those garments. And Nimrod became strong when he put on the garments, and Yahweh gave him might and strength. And he was a mighty hunter in the earth. Yea, he was a mighty hunter in the field, and he hunted the animals, and he built altars, and he offered up upon them the animals before the Most High. And Nimrod strengthened himself, and he rose up from among his brethren, and he fought the battles of his brethren against all their surrounding enemies. And the Most High delivered all the enemies of his brethren in his hands, and Yahweh prospered him from time to time in his battles, and he reigned upon the earth. Therefore it became current in those days, when a man ushered out those that he had trained up for battle, he would say to them, like Yahweh did to Nimrod, who was a mighty hunter in the earth, and who succeeded in the battles that prevailed against his brethren, that he delivered them from the hands of their enemies. So may Yahweh strengthen us and deliver us this day. And when Nimrod was 40 years old, at that time there was a war between his brethren and the children of Japheth, so that they were in the power of their enemies. And Nimrod went out at that time, and he assembled all the sons of Cush and their families, about 460 men, and he hired also from some of his friends and acquaintances about 80 men, and he gave them their hire, and he went with them to battle. And when he was on the road, Nimrod strengthened the hearts of the people that went with him, and he said to them, Do not fear, neither be alarmed, for all our enemies will be delivered into our hands, and you may do with them as you please. And all the men that went were about 500, and they fought against their enemies, and they destroyed them and subdued them, And Nimrod placed standing officers over them in their respective places. And he took some of their children as security, and they were all servants to Nimrod and to his brethren. And Nimrod and all the people that were with him turned homeward. And when Nimrod had joyfully returned from battle after having conquered his enemies, all his brethren together with those who knew him before assembled to make him king over them. And they placed the regal crown upon his head. And he set over his subjects and people, princes, judges, and rulers, as is the custom among kings. And he placed Terah, the son of Nahor, the prince of his host, and he dignified him and elevated him above all his princes. And while he was reigning according to his heart's desire, after having conquered all his enemies around, he advised with his counselors to build a city for his palace, and they did so. And they found a large valley opposite to the east, and they built him a large and extensive city. And Nimrod called the name of this city that he built Shinar, for the Most High had vehemently shaken his enemies and destroyed them. And Nimrod dwelt in Shinar, and he reigned securely, and he fought with his enemies, and he subdued them, and he prospered in all his battles, and his kingdom became very great. And all nations and tongues heard of his fame, and they gathered themselves to him, and they bowed down to the earth, and they brought him offerings, and he became their Adon and king. And they all dwelt with him in the city of Shinar. And Nimrod reigned in the earth over all the sons of Noah, and they were all under his power and counsel. And all the earth was of one tongue and words of union. But Nimrod did not go in the ways of the Most High, and he was more wicked than all the men that were before him, from the days of the flood until those days. And he made gods of wood and stone, and he bowed down to them. And he rebelled against the Most High Yahweh, and taught all his subjects and the people of the earth his wicked ways. And Mardon his son was more wicked than his father. And every one that heard of the acts of Mardon the son of Nimrod would say concerning him, "From the wicked goes out wickedness." Therefore it became a proverb in the whole earth, saying, "From the wicked goes out wickedness." And it was current in the words of men from that time to this. And Terah, the son of Nahor, prince of Nimrod's host, was in those days very great in the sight of the king and his subjects. And the king and princes loved him, and they elevated him very high. And Terah took a wife, and her name was Amthelo, the daughter of Cornebo. And the wife of Terah conceived and bore him a son in those days. Terah was 70 years old when he begat him, and Terah called the name of his son that was born to him Abram, because the king had raised him in those days, and dignified him above all his princes that were with him. That's the end of chapter 7, all right, so that's chapter 7. We're going to continue on and go into chapter 8, all right. Cool. All right. Let's continue. Chapter 8. And it reads, "And it was in the night that Abram was born, that all the servants of Terah and all the wise men of Nimrod and his conjurers came and ate and drank in the house of Terah, and they rejoiced with him on that night. And when all the wise men and conjurers went out from the house of Terah, they lifted up their eyes toward heaven that night to look at the stars. And they saw, and behold, one very large star came from the east and ran in the heavens, and it swallowed up the 4 stars from the 4 sides of the heavens. And all the wise men of the king and his conjurers were astonished at this sight. And the sages understood this matter, and they knew its import. And they said to each other, This only signifies the child that has been born to Terah this night, who will grow up and be fruitful and multiply and possess all the earth, he and his children forever. And he and his seed will slay great kings and inherit their lands. And the wise men and conjurers went home that night, and in the morning all these wise men and conjurers rose up early and assembled in the appointed house. And they spoke and said to each other, Behold, the sight that we saw last night is hidden from the king. It has not been made known to him. And should this thing get known to the king in the latter days, he will say to us, Why have you concealed this matter from me? And then we will all suffer death. Therefore, now let us go and tell the king the sight which we saw, and the interpretation thereof, and we may then remain clear. And they did so, and they all went to the king and bowed down to him to the ground. And they said, May the king live, may the king live. We heard that a son was born to Terah, the son of Nahor, the prince of your host. And we last night came to his house, and we ate and drank and rejoiced with him that night. And when your servants went out from the house of Terah to go to our respective homes to abide there for the night, we lifted up our eyes to heaven, and we saw a great star coming from the east, and the same star ran with great speed and swallowed up 4 great stars from the 4 sides of the heavens. And your servants were astonished at the sight which we saw, and were greatly terrified. And we made our judgment upon the sight, and knew by our wisdom and the proper interpretation thereof, that this thing applies to the child that is born to Terah, who will grow up and multiply greatly and become powerful, and kill all the kings of the earth and inherit all the lands, he and his seed forever. And now, our Adon and king, behold, we have truly acquainted you with what we have seen concerning this child. If it seems good to the king to give his father value for this child, we will slay him before he will grow up and increase in the land, and his evil increase against us, that we and our children perish through his evil. And the king heard their words, and they seemed good in his sight. And he sent and called for Terah, and Terah came before the king. And the king said to Terah, I have been told that a son was last night born to you, and after this manner was observed in the heavens at his birth. And now, therefore, give me the child, that we may slay him before his evil springs up against us, and I will give you for his value your house full of silver and gold. And Terah answered the king and said to him, My Adon and king, I have heard your words, and your servant will do all that the king desires. But my Adon and king, I will tell you what happened to me last night, that I may see what advice the king will give his servant, and then I will answer the king upon what he has just spoken. And the king said, Speak. And Terah said to the king, Ayan, son of Mored, came to me last night, saying, Give unto me the great and beautiful horse that the king gave you, and I will give you silver and gold, and straw and provender for its value. And I said to him, Wait until I see the king concerning your words, and behold, whatever the king says, that I will do. And now, my Adon and king, behold, I have made this thing known to you, and the advice which the king will give unto his servant, that will I follow. And the king heard the words of Terah, and his anger was kindled, and he considered him in the light of a fool. And the king answered Terah, and said to him, Are you so silly, ignorant, or deficient in understanding, to do this thing, to give your beautiful horse for silver and gold, or even for straw and provender? Are you so short of silver and gold that you should do this thing, because you cannot abstain straw and provender to feed your horse? And what is silver and gold to you, or straw and provender, that you should give away that fine horse which I gave you, like which there is none to be had on the whole earth? And the king left off speaking, and Terah answered the king, saying, Like unto this has the king spoken to his servant. I implore you, my Adon and king, what is this which you did say unto me, saying, Give your son, that we may slay him, and I will give you silver and gold for his value. What will I do with silver and gold after the death of my son? Who will inherit me? Surely, then at my death the silver and gold will return to my king who gave it. And when the king heard the words of Terah, and the parable which he brought concerning the king, it grieved him greatly, and he was vexed at this thing. And his anger burned within him. And Terah saw that the anger of the king was kindled against him, and he answered the king, saying, All that I have is in the king's power. Whatever the king desires to do to his servant, that let him do, yea, even my son. He is in the king's power, without value in exchange. He and his 2 brothers that are older than he. And the king said to Terah, No, but I will purchase your younger son for a price. And Terah answered the king, saying, I implore you, my lord, my Adon and king, to let your servant speak a word before you, and let the king hear the word of his servant. And Terah said, Let my king give me 3 days' time, until I consider this matter within myself, and consult with my family concerning the words of my king. And he pressed the king greatly to agree to this. And the king hearkened to Terah, and he did so, and he gave him 3 days' time. And Terah went out from the king's presence, and he came home to his family, and spoke to them all the words of the king. And the people were greatly afraid. And it was in the 3rd day that the king sent to Terah, saying, Send me your son for a price, as I spoke to you. And should you not do this, I will send and slay all you have in your house, so that you will not even have a dog remaining. And Terah hastened, as the thing was urgent, from the king. And he took a child from one of his servants, which his handmaid had borne to him that day. And Terah brought the child to the king, and received value for him. And the Most High was with Terah in this matter. that Nimrod might not cause Abram's death. And the king took the child from Terah, and with all his might dashed his head to the ground, for he thought it had been Abram. And this was concealed from him from that day, and it was forgotten by the king, as it was the will of providence, not to suffer Abram's life. And Terah took Abram his son secretly together with his mother and nurse, and he concealed them in a cave, and he brought them their provisions monthly. And the Most High was with Abram in the cave, and he grew up, and Abram was in the cave 10 years, and the king and his princes, soothsayers and sages, thought that the king had killed Abram. That's the end of chapter 8, okay? So he pulled the old okey doke on him, you know what I'm saying? He gave him another child, so he just happened to have 2 babies born, you know what I'm saying, within the same 2 weeks. You know, one from one of his handmaids and one actually Abram. So he took the other child in, and the other child got murdered, and then he hid Abram in the cave for 10 years. All right. And brought him provisions and food and water monthly. All right. Let's see. Should we get some more of this? Should we get chapter 9? I mean, let's see. I guess so. I mean, it's kind of long. Yeah, all right. Yeah, we can do chapter 9. We can do chapter 9. That's cool. You ready? Did you need a break? Well, you can pause the video. I can't, right? So I got to get ready to start reading this. All right, we're going to get back into chapter 9. All right, cool. All right, we're good to go. All right, chapter 9. Chapter 9. And it reads, And Haran, the son of Terah, Abram's oldest brother, took a wife in those days. Haran was 39 years old when he took her. And the wife of Haran conceived and bore a son, and he called his name Lot. And she conceived again and bare a daughter, and she called her name Milcah. And she again conceived and bare a daughter, and she called her name Sarai. Haran was 42 years old when he begat Sarai, which was in the 10th year of the life of Abram. And in those days Abram and his mother and nurse went out from the cave, as the king and his subjects had forgotten the affair of Abram. And when Abram came out from the cave, he went to Noah and his son Shem, and he remained with them to learn the instruction of the Most High and his ways, and no man knew where Abram was. And Abram served Noah and Shem his son for a long time. And Abram was in Noah's house 39 years, and Abram knew the Most High from 3 years old, and he went in the ways of the Most High until the day of his death. And Noah and his son Shem had taught him, and all the sons of the earth in those days greatly transgressed against the Most High, and they rebelled against him, and they served other gods, and they forgot the Most High, who had created them in the earth. And the inhabitants of the earth made unto themselves at that time every man his god, gods of wood and stone, which could neither speak, hear, nor deliver. And the sons of men served them, and they became their gods. And the king and all his servants and Terah with all his household were then the first of those that served gods of wood and stone. And Terah had 12 gods of large size, made of wood and stone after the 12 months of the year. And he served each one monthly, and every month Terah would bring his meat offering and drink offering to his gods. Thus did Terah all the days. And all that generation were wicked in the sight of the Most High, and they thus made every man his god. But they forsook the Most High, who had created them. And there was not a man found in those days in the whole earth who knew the Most High, for they served each man his own god, except Noah and his household. And all those who were under his counsel knew the Most High Elohim in those days. And Abram and the son of Terah was waxen great in those days in the house of Noah, and no man knew it, and the Most High was with him. And the Most High gave Abram an understanding heart, and he knew all the works of that generation were vain, and that all their gods were vain, and were of no avail. And Abram saw the sun shining upon the earth, and Abram said unto himself, Surely now this sun that shines upon the earth is Yahweh, and him will I serve. And Abram served the sun in that day, and he prayed to him. And when evening came, the sun set as usual, and Abram said within himself, Surely this cannot be Yahweh. And Abram still continued to speak within himself, Who is he who made the heavens and the earth? Who created upon earth? Where is he? And night darkened over him, and he lifted up his eyes toward the west, north, south, and east. And he saw that the sun had been vanished from the earth, and the day became dark. And Abram saw the stars and moon before him, and he said, Surely this is the Most High who created the whole earth, as well as man, and behold, these are his servants, are gods around him. Talking about the moon and the stars. And Abram served the moon and prayed to it all that night. And in the morning, when it was light, and the sun shone upon the earth as usual, Abram saw all the things that the Most High Yahweh had made upon the earth. And Abram said unto himself, Surely these are not the gods that made the earth and all the mankind, but these are the servants of God, servants of the Most High. And Abram remained in the house of Noah, and there knew the Most High and his ways. And he served the Most High all the days of his life, and all that generation forgot the Most High, and served other gods of wood and stone, and rebelled all their days. And King Nimrod reigned securely, and all the earth was under his control, and all the earth was of one tongue, and words of union. And all the princes of Nimrod and his great men took counsel together, Put, Mitzrayim, Cush, and Canaan, with their families, and they said to each other, Come, let us build ourselves a city, and in it a strong tower, and its top reaching heaven, and we will make ourselves famed, so that we may reign upon the whole world, in order that the evil of our enemies may cease from us, that we may reign mightily over them, and that we may not become scattered over the whole earth on account of their wars. And they all went before the king, and they told the king their words, and the king agreed with them in this affair, and he did so. And all the families assembled, consisting of about 600,000 men, and they went to seek an extensive piece of ground to build a city and the tower. And they sought in the whole earth, and they found none like one valley at the east of the land of Shinar, about 2 days' walk. And they journeyed there, and they dwelt there. And they began to make bricks, and build fires, and build the city and the tower that they had imagined to complete. And the building of the tower was unto them a transgression and a sin, and they began to build it. And while they were building against the Most High Elohim of heaven, they imagined in their hearts to war against him and to ascend into heaven. And all these people and all the families divided themselves in 3 parts. The first said, We will ascend into heaven and fight against him. The second said, We will ascend into heaven and place our own gods there and serve them. And the third part said, We will ascend into heaven and smite him with bows and spears. And Yahweh knew all their works and all their evil thoughts. And he saw the city and the tower which they were building. And when they were building, they built themselves a great city and a very high and strong tower, and on account of its height, the mortar and the bricks did not reach the builders in their ascent to it until those who went up had completed a full year. And after that, they reached to the builders and gave them the mortar and the bricks. Thus was it done daily. Wow. So I'm going to interject right there. It took the people from the bottom to get to the top, a full year's journey to bring them bricks and mortar. So people had to leave every single day in order for them to receive bricks and mortar at the top every single day. You're talking about probably miles and miles and miles and miles above the earth, like tremendously high, way above the clouds. It takes a year to take all the mortar and bricks up there. Did you read that? Come on. Wow. I mean, I'm going to read that one more time because that was crazy, man. That is crazy. All right, that's the book of Jasher. All right, this is chapter 9, verse 27. Listen. And when they were building, they built themselves a great city and a very high and strong tower. On account of its height, the mortar and bricks did not reach the builders in their ascent to it until those who went up had completed a full year. And after that, they reached to the builder and gave them the mortar and the bricks. Thus was it done daily. Come on. Let's continue. Verse 28, and it reads, And behold, these ascended and others descended the whole day. And if a brick should fall from their hands and get broken, they would all weep over it. And if a man fell and died, none of them would look at him. And the Most High knew their thoughts. And it came to pass, when they were building, that they cast the arrows towards the heavens, and all the arrows fell upon them, filled with blood. And when they saw them, they said to each other, Surely we have slain all those that are in heaven. For this was from the Most High, in order to cause them to err. and in order to destroy them from off the face of the ground. And they built the tower and the city, and they did this thing daily until many days and years were elapsed. And Yahweh said to the 70 angels who stood foremost before him, to those who were near to him, saying, Come, let us descend and confuse their tongues, that one man will not understand the language of his neighbor. And they did so unto them. And from that day following they forgot each man his neighbor's tongue, and they could not understand to speak in one tongue. And when the builder took from the hands of his neighbor lime or stone, which he did not order, the builder would cast it away and throw it upon his neighbor, that he would die. And they did so many days, and they killed many of them in this manner. And the Most High smote the 3 divisions that were there, and they punished them according to their works and designs. Those who said, We will ascend into heaven and serve our gods, became like apes and elephants. And those who said, We will smite the heavens with arrows, the Most High killed them, one man through the hand of his neighbor. And the 3rd division of those who said, We will ascend into heaven and fight against him, the Most High scattered them throughout the earth. And those who were left among them, when they knew and understood the evil which was coming upon them, they forsook the building, and they also became scattered upon the face of the whole earth. And they ceased building the city and the tower. Therefore he called that place Babel, for there the Most High confounded the language of the whole earth. Behold, it was at the east of the land of Shinar, right, about 2 days' journey, right? Verse 38, to the door. And as to the tower which the sons of men built, the earth opened its mouth and swallowed up the 1/3 part thereof. And a fire also descended from heaven and burned another third. And the other part is left to this day. And it is of the part of which is aloft, and its circumference is 3 days' walk. Wow, 3 days' walk to get around it. And many of the sons of men died in that tower, a people without number. That's the end of chapter 9, and we're going to close that out there, all right? Yeah, we're going to finish up chapter 9 there, and then we'll start again on chapter 8. So we just did, 7, 8, and 9? All right, that's cool. That's cool. All right. It's pretty solid, okay, fam? All right, that's good. We're going to be jumping right back into Jasher chapter 10 on the next read. Thanks for being on this one, though. Nice little scripture dive, a little scripture dump, all right? All right. So we're going to get some more of this. In the meantime, in between time, stay safe out there, y'all. I love y'all, man. All praises to the Most High. Shalom, shalom, peace and blessings. Go in peace, all right? I love you. Yeah.